Good afternoon or good morning if you're doing this early in the morning. I just wanted to kind of go through these are parallelograms with going through quadrilaterals. Um, you may just write this if you would like, but I really just wanted to have some. I'm not going to see you today, so I wanted to be able to have your lesson without having to be in class. So that's really nice that we can do this. Yay for technology. So we're going to go over parallelograms. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. So mark the parallel sides of the parallelogram. So you know that BC is parallel to AD, and you know that AB is parallel to CD. Okay. You can also, this is our first conjecture. Our parallelogram conjecture number one is that opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. Okay. So we also have, we can just, it says draw your parallelogram. So the way that you would denote that or mark that is to say that AB is congruent to CD and then AD is congruent to BC. Okay. So for this one, it wants you to solve for X and Y. Well, since you know that opposite sides of parallelogram are congruent, X equals 23 and Y equals 15. Okay. Now, these are a little bit more difficult because you know that AB is equal to CD. So 2x equals 20, which means x equals 10. Just solve for x. And then on this one, you know that 3y is equal to 24. You know that y equals 8. Okay, those are our last example. It says solve for x and find AB. So you're going to say that they are equal. So 8x plus 5 equals 12x minus 3. Then you're going to solve for x. So I would add 3 on both sides and then subtract 8x. And then you've got 8 equals 4x. And then x equals 2. So x equals 2, but it doesn't just say solve for x, it also says find AB. Now, just because we know that x equals 2, it doesn't mean that you can either plug it in right here or you can plug it in right here because you know that they are equal, they're congruent. So AB equals 8 times 2 plus 5. So AB, oh, sorry, can't see that. You know that AB equals 16 plus 5, so AB equals 21. Okay, so on this next one, our second conjecture is that parallelograms, the opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. And I want you to also draw a picture so we can still have the same A, B, C, D. You know that BD, angle D and angle B are congruent, and you know that angle A and angle C are congruent. Okay, so now we're going to do some problems with that. Okay, if you look at this one, it says solve for x and y. Well, you know that they are congruent, so you know that y equals 80 degrees, and you know that those two are congruent, so you know that x equals 110 degrees. Okay. Now this one, it says to solve for x and find measure the measure of angle D. So you know that we've got, they aren't equal. So if these two, when you're talking about the measure of a quadrilateral, the total degrees of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So 360 degrees, okay? So you know right here that this is going to equal half of that, so that is going to be 180. So you know that this right here, angle A plus angle D, is going to equal 180 degrees. Okay, so you know that angle A is 120 degrees plus angle D, which is 5x, equals 180 degrees. So what you do here is you subtract 120. You get 5x equals 60. And then you divide, which is x equals 12. Okay, so that is how you figure out, it actually asks for the measure of angle D, so it says solve for x and then find the measure of angle D. Well, the measure of angle D is 60 degrees, and then x equals 12. Okay, so on this one, you're going to say that a measure of angle D plus the measure of angle A equals 180, so 125 plus 3y plus 7 equals 180. So you're just going to combine like terms, so you have 132 plus 3y equals 180, and then you're just going to solve for y. So subtract 132 on both sides, and you have 3y equals 48. Then you're going to divide by 3 on both sides. Y equals 16. Okay, so y equals 16. But we still have, it says solve for x and y, so we still have to find for x. So then you're going to say that 55 plus, let's do it right here, 55 plus 13x minus 5 equals 180. Sorry, I'm running out of room. So 50 plus 13x equals 180. And then you're going to subtract 50 on both sides, so you'll have 13x equals 130. And then divide by 13 on both sides, which is x equals 10. Okay, so from there, it says not only to find x and y, but it says to find the measure of both of those. So then you're going to come in and you're going to plug in 16 for y, so 3 times 16 plus 7 equals, should have 132, I believe. So 3 times 16 equals 48, no, plus 7 equals 55, sorry, 55. On this right here, you'll have whatever's left over from that 125. Okay, on this one, that is the measure of angle D. The measure of angle D, and then the measure of angle C. Okay, you've got 13 times 10 minus 5. This is going to be your bigger angle, so this is going to be 13 times 10, which is 130. 130 minus 5 equals 125, which is also proves our conjecture, which is opposite angles are congruent. Okay, and we will finish this on in class probably tomorrow. Thanks.